Jai Shri Hari, Jai Shri Hari, Jai Shri Hari. This story must be heard during the fast on the day of Rama Ekadashi. On this occasion, after worshipping Lord Vishnu, one should recite his story. It is said that listening and reading it is very auspicious. So let's know the story of Rama Ekadashi today. The story of Rama Ekadashi. Dharmaraj Yudhishthir started saying, "O God, what is the name of Kartik Krishna Ekadashi? What is its method? What is the result of doing this? So tell me in detail." Lord Shri Krishna said that the name of Ekadashi of Kartik Krishna Paksh is Rama. It is going to destroy big sins. I tell you its importance, listen carefully. There once lived a famous king, of the name Muchakund, who was friendly to Lord Indra. Muchakund always spoke the truth and constantly rendered devotional service to me. Because he ruled according to religious principles, there were no disturbances in his kingdom. Muchakund's daughter was named Chandrabhaga, after a sacred river, and the king gave her in marriage to Shobhan, the son of Chandrasen. One day, Shobhan visited his father-in-law's palace on the auspicious Ekadashi day. This visit made Shobhan's wife Chandrabhaga quite anxious, for she knew that her husband was physically very weak and unable to bear the austerity of a day-long fast. She said to him, "My father is very strict about following Ekadashi. On Dashmi, the day before Ekadashi, he strikes a large kettle drum and announces, 'Nobody should eat on Ekadashi, the sacred day of Shri Hari.'" When Shobhan heard the sound of the kettle drum, he said to his wife, "O beautiful one, what am I to do now? Please tell me how I can save my life, and obey your father's strictness, and at the same time satisfy our guests." Chandrabhaga then spoke, "My dear husband, in my father's house nobody, not even the elephants or horses, what to speak of consenting human beings, eats on Ekadashi. Indeed, none of the animals are given their ration of grains, leaves, or straw or even water, on Ekadashi, the sacred day of Shri Hari. So, how can you escape fasting? My beloved husband, if you must eat something, then you should leave here at once. Now, with firm conviction decide on what you have to do." Prince Shobhan then said, "I have decided to fast on the sacred Ekadashi day. Whatever my fate is, it will surely come to pass." Deciding thus, Shobhan attempted to fast on this Ekadashi, but he became unbearably disturbed with excessive hunger and thirst. Eventually the sun set in the west, and the arrival of the auspicious night made all the Vaishnavas very happy. "O Yudhishthir, all the devotees enjoyed worshipping me, and remaining awake all through night, but Prince Shobhan that night became absolutely unbearable. Indeed, when the sun rose on the Dwadashi, that Prince Shobhan was dead. King Muchakund observed his son-in-law's funeral, ordering a large stack of wood be assembled for the fire, but he instructed his daughter Chandrabhaga not to join her husband on the funeral pyre. Thus Chandrabhaga, after performing all the purificatory processes and procedures for honoring her deceased husband, continued to live in her father's house. Lord Shri Krishna continued, "O best of the kings, Yudhishthir, even though Shobhan died, because of observing Rama Ekadashi, the merit that he accrued enabled him, after his death, to become the ruler of a kingdom, high on the peak of Mandarachal mountain. This kingdom was like a city of the demigods, very lustrous, with unlimited jewels set in the walls of its buildings, that gave off light. The pillars were made of rubies, and gold inlaid with diamonds shone everywhere. As King Shobhan sat upon a throne beneath a pure white canopy, servants fanned him with yak-tail whisks. A stunning crown rested upon his head, beautiful earrings adorned his ears, a necklace graced his throat, and bejeweled armlets and bracelets encircled his arms. He was served by Gandharvas and Apsaras. Verily, he resembled a second Indra. One day, a Brahmin named Som Sharma, who lived in Muchakund's kingdom, happened upon Shobhan's kingdom while traveling to various places of pilgrimage. The Brahmin saw Shobhan in all his resplendent glory, and thought he might be the son-in-law of his own king Muchakund. When Shobhan saw the Brahmin approaching, he immediately rose up from his seat and welcomed him. After Shobhan had paid his respectful obeisances, he asked the Brahmin about his well-being, and about the health and welfare of his father-in-law, his wife, and all the residents of the city. Som Sharma then said, "O king, all the residents and subjects are well in your father-in-law's kingdom, and Chandrabhaga and your other family members are also quite well. Peace and prosperity reign throughout the kingdom. But there is one thing, I'm quite astonished to find you here. Please tell me about yourself." Nobody has ever seen such a beautiful city as this. Kindly tell me how you obtained it. King Shobhan then began to tell his story. Because I observed the Rama Ekadashi, I was given this splendid city to rule over. But for all of its grandeur, it is only temporary. I beg you to do something to correct this deficiency. You see, this is only an ephemeral city, a place of this material world. How may I make its beauties and glories permanent? Kindly reveal this to me by your instructions. The Brahmin then asked, why is this kingdom unstable, and how will it become stable? Please fully explain this to me, and I shall try to help you. Shobhan then answered, because I fasted on the Rama Ekadashi without any faith, this kingdom is impermanent. Now hear how it can become permanent. Please return to Chandrabhaga, the beautiful daughter of King Michukund, and tell her what you have seen and understood about this place and about me. Surely, if you, a pure-hearted Brahmin, tell her this, my city will soon become permanent. Thus the Brahmin returned to his city and related the entire episode to Chandrabhaga, who was both surprised and overjoyed to hear this news of her husband. She said, O Brahman, is this a dream you have seen, or is it actually a factual thing? Som Sharma the Brahmin replied, O princess, I have seen your late husband face to face in that wonderful kingdom, which resembles a realm of the denizens of heaven's playgrounds. But your former husband has asked me to relate to you that he says that his kingdom is unstable and could vanish into thin air at any moment. Therefore he hopes you can find a way to make it permanent. Chandrabhaga then said, O sage among the Brahmins, please take me to that place where my husband resides at once, for I greatly desire to see him again. Surely I shall make his kingdom permanent, with the merit that I have acquired by fasting on every Ekadashi throughout my life. Please reunite us at once again. It is said that one who reunites separated persons also obtains very great merit. The humble Brahmin Som Sharma then led Chandrabhaga to Shobhan's effulgent kingdom. Before reaching it, however, they stopped at the foot of Mount Mandarachal, at the sacred ashrama of Vamdev. Upon hearing their story, Vamdev chanted hymns from the Vedas and sprinkled holy water from his Samanya Arghya upon Chandrabhaga. By the influence of that great Rishi's rites, the merit she had accrued by fasting for so many Ekadashis made her body transcendental. Ecstatic, her eyes beaming in wonder, Chandrabhaga continued on her journey. When Shobhan saw his wife approaching him, high on Mount Mandarachal, he was overwhelmed with joy, and called out to her in great happiness and jubilation. After she arrived, he seated her on his left side, and she said to him, O dearest Patidev, please listen, as I tell you something that will benefit you greatly. Since I was 8 years old, I have fasted regularly, and with full faith on every Ekadashi. If I transfer to you all the merit I have accumulated, your kingdom will surely become permanent, and its prosperity will grow and grow until the coming of the great inundation. Lord Shri Krishna then continued to address Yudhishthir as follows, O Yudhishthir, in this way Chandrabhaga, who was beautifully decorated with the finest ornaments, and had an exquisitely transcendental body, at last enjoyed peace and happiness with her husband. By the potency of Rama Ekadashi, Shobhan found his kingdom on the peaks of Mount Mandarachal, able to fulfill all his desires and bestow upon him everlasting happiness, like that achieved from the transcendental Kamdhenu cow. O greatest of kings, I have thus narrated to you the glories of Rama Ekadashi that falls in the dark fortnight of the month of Kartik. Anyone who observes sacred Ekadashi during both the light and the dark fortnight of each month is undoubtedly freed from the reactions to the sin of killing a Brahmin. One should not differentiate between the Ekadashis of the light and dark parts of the month. Jai Shri Hari, 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 Jai Shri Hari.